All right. Hey guys, how you guys doing today? Today I wanted to do a little video, kind of just doing some number crunching, getting some visuals in front of you guys, and kind of show where I'm leaning and where I'm thinking when I'm doing all of my videos, how I go about it, just a little bit of the back end stuff. But all right, we'll hop right into it. So today I was focusing on SV sets. Now, I didn't include the specialty sets, but we could do that in another video. But I really wanted to focus on which booster boxes are going to have the best ROI and where they're at right now. So again, I'm not talking necessarily the crazy long term. I'm just saying where the opportunity is. So I'm trying to look for spots and plays at all times. All right, so I'll explain the graph. Basically, I went ahead and did 01 through 10. Base set through Rivals. I wanted to include the release date because I think this is really important for a lot of people to make a lot of smart plays. You hear a lot of people saying SV01 through 04 are safe. Okay, you hear that commonly. You'll hear big streamers say it. Rudy will say it. A lot of other people will also tap in on that. So I wanted to give you an idea of how long those sets have been out, just so you understand, kind of the time frame. And I went ahead as well to include sets that recently went out of print, that, we have confirmation they will no longer print those. And I mean, Pokemon can do whatever they want. They can print at any time. It's not this guaranteed timeline or format. These cards they go through a rotationary play for the players. So as time goes on, they get rotated out, and that's when they'll go out of print. But anyways, we have Crown, let's start with Silver Tempest because that's a main set. 2 years ago, 7 months, 5 days, right? So 2.5 years ago. And then Crown Zenith also went out of print, even though they just released some stuff on Pokemon Center. I think that was just backup supply. But 2 years ago, and I want to say this somebody put it in the comments. I want to say it was announced like 2 months ago. So 2 years ago, 4 months, 27 days ago. So 2.2 years. But yeah, so that's something to keep in mind. So when we look at these other sets, again, we don't have any confirmation. Scarlet, and Violet base set, Paldea, Obsidian, or Paradox are out of print. But when you hear that Pokemon is struggling to keep up with the demand, you have to think that they're focused on their best products. So that'd be Prismatic, probably going to be Destined, Surging still, and the products moving forward. So I think these printers are going to be on high demand, but I think the reprints are going to focus on those sets. So keep that in mind. And, they're doing black and white now. And they're going to, I don't know that they're going to slow it down and print other older sets. So I think that's why a lot of people feel comfortable that base set is done, Paldea is done, Obsidian, Paradox are done. Okay. So again, it kind of checks out, right? They're all kind of hovering around that 2-year mark. And you'll hear it in the investing community that 2 years is a safe point. Again, Pokemon can do whatever they want, but it's kind of checking out, right? So we are seeing that this is a accelerated set. They did cut it short to get the XY, or not the XY, the Megas out. So that'll be our next set coming in October. So that's exciting. But we're going to focus on this stuff right now. And so I went ahead and did booster box prices, and you can see that they range from $200 basically all the way up to $300. So there's a $100 disparity between these. And for anybody who really can't focus on booster boxes, I also did packs for you, just to kind of keep it, in everybody's price range. And then set value at the end is to help us with ROI and kind of just understanding what that set is, right? So Scarlet and Violet, one of the lower end sets, Stellar Crown, and there should be Obsidian Flames as well as being 280 to complete the entire set. But you can see the booster box are approaching the $280 mark. So that's important to notice. A lot of these, when they go out of print, the box price has a great potential to surpass the set value. We've seen it in older sets. Now, it takes a while for this to happen, but it eventually does. And it's because the box becomes more scarce, more rare, and more valuable than what's inside. It's a hard thing to come and to understand, but that is how it works in Pokemon. A lot of other TCGs don't have this application, but Pokemon does. So based on the ROIs, we went ahead and kind of gave you guys a graph here. Destined Rivals is a little high on the set value. I do think it is high. I think it will come down. I think your other chase cards, the supporting cast of the set, will come down in price and it'll balance out more. But I still do believe Destined Rivals is going to be a standout set of the SV era as a main set. So Destined Rivals has a clear lead in ROI already at 7.85. And then you're seeing second place coming in as Surging Sparks, which is in the correction period at 4.8. Also the reprints for it. And you will see Destined get reprinted. So don't be surprised when that happens and price still kind of comes down. But this is my point here. You're looking at Stellar Crown, which is 9 months, 3 days, at $216. So if we can be, fair here, let's just round that up to 220, and let's go ahead and just be fair. Since we're going to add on both sides. Destined Rivals to 250, just to keep numbers easy. That's a $30 difference, and the set value is massive. When you look at Stellar Crown, you're looking at $409 set value and close to $2,000 set value. Again, I think this is going to come down, but that's something to note, when you're looking at opportunities. If you're going to be buying Stellar Crown, is it maybe a better pivot? This is what I ask myself, is it a better pivot to go with Destined? For a lot of people, I think yes, it's the obvious answer. But for some people, maybe you're new to investing, you don't understand, you just see the graphs going up. Keep in mind, maybe you do think different. Maybe you're thinking, well, you just said there's no reason for them to reprint Stellar, if they're focusing on Surging, Prismatic. We haven't even gotten the Journey Together reprint. We don't even know if the American box is going to have enhanced or not. I know a non-TCG talked about it. He said that it's probably going to be enhanced. So that was interesting. I know we made a few videos on the possibilities of it being a regular booster box, and if it were, then that would push the price of the enhanced up quite a bit. But Anand is pretty accurate with his information, so I would assume, just based on what he said, that it is going to be enhanced as well. So anyways, we went ahead and put it into a graph, kind of showed you guys, if you're investing right now, right, at these prices, what are the ROIs based on set value? And, Destined Rivals is a clear lead. And I don't think this is going to change at any point in time. I do think Surging is going to do well. And then it's got Paradox Rift and Masquerade. So coming in at the top. So keep those noted. And when you're doing your collecting, I truly do think Destined Rivals had a tough launch in terms of, you got to remember, we had this set information for a year, and a lot of hype built up around it. A ton of hype. Everybody had this idea of what it was going to be, and I will not lie, it let me down a little bit. But in terms of how good the set is, I still think it's a great set. Was it the Was it the 12 out of 10 home run we were all hoping for? No. But I think when it did release, it got a lot of hate. I think a lot of people pushed the price down. And, you know, it doesn't really matter what I think because the market doesn't lie. But I do think people will grow onto this set eventually. And it's just like a lot of these other sets. A lot of people hated Fusion Strike. Hated it. I remember it sat on shelves forever. You could buy it off Pokemon Center anytime you wanted. I mean, I remember they had to do like sales to like get rid of Pokemon Center ETBs. I have one in my closet that I just ripped open because I was like, oh, this is, nobody likes these. What's the point? And I was just trying to, you know, hit one of the chase cards. Opened a Pokemon Center ETB. I understand. That's crazy. Why would you ever do that? It was different at the time. If you were there, you understand, maybe, hopefully. But yeah, obviously it was a mistake. But I think a lot of people are going to come to the realization that the Destined Rivals, just the pack art, the booster boxes, the ETBs, everything's really beautiful about it. I think people are going to grow into it over time. Anyways, I just want to show you guys this. If you guys want me to post in the Discord, that way you have your own information for it, let me know. And guys, thank you for watching. I always want my stuff to be informative, kind of show you guys what my thought processes is, and then how I'm doing it in the background before I release these videos. But this one I thought was going to be cool just to have it out there, show you guys what I'm thinking. All right, anyways, y'all have a good one. Peace out. Later.